Alright, people, welcome to another Fyxshion Reydiou. Today we're going to be talking about a really bloody anime. So, Shinja, will you tell us a little bit about Hellsing?
Right. So there's two different Hellsing animes, but they kind of follow the same plot. Our protagonist is Alucard.
Educado.
Yeah, he doesn't have any last name or anything. He just goes by the name Alucard. And if you're observant enough, you might notice that the name backwards spells Dracula.
Yeah.
Coincidence? I think not.
Pretty obvious.
And it's no secret that he's a vampire. It's because he's Dracula.
Yeah.
So that's the same in both animes. And basically, Alucard and this young lady that he just finds. I forget what she's called already. Saras, I think.
Sarah Victoria.
She's the police officer.
Yeah.
She's just one day at a scene where there's like some sort of like crime going on, and it turns out there's freaking vampires running back, and it's like, oh crap, what's going on?
Yep.
So shit goes down. Alucard comes in, saves the day, shows everyone like, you know, he's a badass vampire.
Yeah.
But Saras, in the midst of it all, she got gravely wounded, and so Alucard gave her a choice whether to die or to become a vampire.
Yeah.
And follow him. And she chose to become a vampire. So she's one of the protagonists as well. She's like kind of like another viewpoint of the whole like series, because you have Alucard's viewpoint, but most of the time really he's just aloof and doing his own thing, and then Saras is the one that you're mostly following, really.
Yeah.
So this is where the two animes like severely differ. Like the original anime is a lot more edgy, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
It's a little more grim. No one's really happy. It's really serious, and then
serious.
It ends pretty soon. Like it's not as long as the Ultimate series. Like the original one only went. Did it even reach 12 episodes?
The original one reached 12 episodes, and the Ultimate reached 10. But I think the Ultimate one, some episodes were not 23 or 24 minutes long.
There were some that were like 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
But in terms of plot, like they both, like Ultimate, like delved way deeper into like
totally.
Alucard's backstory and the Hellsing family story. That's another thing. The anime is called Hellsing because the leader and owner of this big like monster slaying organization is named Integra Hellsing. It's a family-owned business. The Hellsing family exterminates vampires and other evil creatures, but they mainly dealt with vampires. And so her job in this anime, like other than like, you know, being Alucard's master, she's trying to figure out where all these vampires are suddenly coming from, you know, because they're not really supposed to be around in that era. Yeah. And this is set around like a little bit after World War II as well.
It's Germany, so
yeah. But it's like shortly right after. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Or maybe even before. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But it's around that time.
Yeah, I think it's actually about when World War II is going to start, because that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But anyway. So yeah. I love this anime. It was this is one of those animes where like everyone knows about it, but not a lot of people have actually watched it.
Exactly.
Like I've talked to people at conventions, or like, you know, even Dan, like I've talked to him and I've been like, oh, you're like, you know, like Hellsing. He's like, yeah, of course I know Hellsing. And then I'd be like, did you watch it? Like, no, actually I've watched the abridged series. And that's what most people have actually like.
Oh god.
Like, that's how most people know it. The bridge series on YouTube is very popular.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, so this anime, this is like one of those animes that this is a mix of zombies and also vampires at the same time. Like mostly all those vampire zombies that you see in the series, it just mixed up and really messed up. And it's pretty cool. It's a really good mix.
It's always weird because it's like, what is it? It's the whole JoJo thing again. You know, it's like, oh, a vampire bit you / sucked your blood.
Yeah.
But you're not a vampire. You're a zombie now.
Zombie, yeah.
And so, but it's like, but in this one, like, there's like a specific rule. Like, they can make zombies, but the only way to become a vampire is if you're a virgin. And I was like, what?
I didn't even remember that, but now that you mention it, I remember now. Like, yeah, you need to be a.
Yeah, that was like one of the prerequisites. Like, I think he like even asked her like beforehand, like, are you a virgin or whatever? And it was like,
oh yeah.
If you want to become a vampire, I'll make you a vampire or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It oh god, so
it was something about virgin blood or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something
It doesn't
like that.
surprise me because that's how always these like quote unquote rituals go about, you know.
yes, indeed. So I don't know who did recommend you this anime, because I think I watched it on my own. I think no one recommended it to me. I just go ahead and watched it, and that's it. And I just continue watching until the ultimate of Hellsing Ultimate came out, like years after. Like, I really do not remember at all this.
Yeah. I remember you mentioning it, but I didn't check it out after you mentioned it. It was a lot of things leading up to it. Like, you mentioned it, and then was Dan. I saw some of the bridge series on like Halloween, like 2 years ago, and then on our Discord server we were having like our anime discussions. We were just talking about like, oh, what's our top 10 animes. And I think I remember Ice mentioning that he really liked Hellsing. And so it's like, oh, I should give Hellsing a try. And it was around then that I tried it.
Nice. I mean, just a head start if you guys start watching this if I know that a lot of people don't like a lot of blood, but this is a bloody anime.
Yeah, given it's a vampire anime, it's a given, but it's gory.
It's
there's a lot of
gory,
like
it's rated R.
limbs being dismembered, and slashing and bullets, and it's pretty crazy.
This is not Tokyo Ghoul type of PG-13 gore or bloody. No, this is not that. This is way beyond.
What part of Tokyo Ghoul, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of another anime that takes like severing arms and like body parts, and
Attack on Titan.
Sort of, but like they don't do a lot of it. But yeah, let's just take a lot of arm dismembering and give it like extreme blood syndrome, like Bleach syndrome.
Exactly.
Like, there's gonna be lots of blood splurting from every
you're gonna see a lot of red.
Yeah.
Just a lot of red. And the fights in this anime, holy freaking, they're freaking good.
Oh no,
gun fights, dude, it's just amazing. Like, auto cards to the guns are just like, man, I really always wanted auto cards guns, dude. Like,
my favorite like fights are when Alexander Anderson is involved. He's
he's the best.
priest or the paladin or whatever.
Yeah, the priest. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He's so weird, but it's like I love it. One of the things I liked about this anime too is it's heavily based on religion, and I say heavily by like they use a lot of lore, Alexander Anderson, he belongs to the Iscariot sect or a branch of the Catholic Church, and so like it just thinking about that, I was like, oh, like Judas Iscariot, so like the traitor, like the that's like really weird. So it's like it'd be like, oh, so this is like the one branch of the church that no one knows about or should know about, little things like that.
Right.
And then there's some other things, there's like little references and like things that they say, or stuff engraved in the guns. That's like, oh, that's interesting. It's like religion based.
Indeed.
Or inspired.
It's both extreme because Alucard is extremely diabolical.
Yeah.
And, he uses this kind of weird demon thing that this shadow.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's him or it's souls that he's devoured.
Yeah, something like.
His powers aren't really explained. Like near the end of the anime, you get a little explanation as to how his powers work. But even that is kind of like, okay, so he's just invincible.
Yeah, he's just OP as hell. This is like any other Dracula movie that you see today. Dracula's very OP.
Take the Castlevania anime, for example.
Oh yeah,
that's super OP.
Yeah, it's just like the protagonist is way too much. Alucard is just way too much for these characters. Alucard does not even need an army, like for real. It's just like this type of badass, but it's a really good badass type of character. It's not this type of boring, kind of powerful character.
Yeah. Well, there are times where you're like worried, like, oh shit, like he's actually like he might die or something, and then like stuff, develops, and you're like, oh dang, this is getting intense, you know?
Yes. Oh, yeah. When you see a lot of red. Yeah.
And then it's cool seeing like Sarah's also like maturing / developing as a vampire as like the series goes on, because at first she starts out kind of wimpy, like she's used to being like a normal human being, but then like by the end of the anime she's this badass, like
I mean, I think she just tries to not suck blood. I think there was like a moment of her that she just not want to suck some blood. Yeah,
it's the whole whatchamacallit, Tokyo Ghoul syndrome.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I don't want to because I still think of myself as human, and then
that struggle. Yeah.
But they know, like, you're constantly reminded in the anime that, like, and like both Tokyo Ghoul and this, like, your transformation will complete once you have blood or like human flesh or whatever, and then you'll become stronger.
Exactly.
So like that's kind of like in both Tokyo Ghoul and this, you're both like expecting, like, when are they gonna do it? It's gonna happen.
And yes, eventually. So what other characters does this anime have that they're really other than Alucard and Victoria being cool, what other cool characters?
I can only think of one, and it's Butler Walter.
Walter.
Yeah, he's like the butler, the head of the Hellsing, or not the head, like the he's like kind of like the caretaker, like the butler, head butler in a way. But yeah, he just takes care of Integra and He worked for her father before he passed away. And sometimes he provides stuff to Alucard if he needs it, but really Alucard just does his own thing. But yeah, he mostly fights with knives and razor wires.
Yes.
And
yes,
he's really fast and strong.
Yes. No, I completely forgot about him, but now I'm seeing pictures here. He was a freaking badass, I gotta say.
Yeah. You only see him fight a few times.
Yeah.
Normally it's just Alucard and Ceres. But then it's kind of they're like, oh, it's the old man. What's the old man gonna do? And then, he's like, this.
Yeah. No,
and he kicks some insane ass. He's probably the second most badass character after Alucard.
Oh, yes, indeed, yeah.
And then Ceres is she ties with him at the end of the anime.
Yes. It said, she, of course, the struggle. She's a cop, and she has this big gun, sniper gun, right? Is it, or something like that?
It's a sniper.
Yeah. And she's my wife.
Later on,
though.
It's she's your wife. Dude, I don't blame you. A lot of people would make her their wife. She's waifu material. She's vampire waifu material.
Totally hot.
Now there's a turnoff about thinking about her being waifu because of the plot twist that happens. But I won't not a plot twist, but a plot development.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch the anime.
Yeah, you gotta watch the anime. Just. Oh gosh. So, what else about this anime? Let's see. So besides these characters,
there's we have Nazi zombies in it.
Oh yes, Nazi zombies. Yeah, all those Nazi. What should we call them?
Not Nazi zombies, Nazi vampires. I'm sorry.
No, they're both.
Yeah, but gotta get it right. Because people hear Nazi zombies and they're like, oh, it's fucking
Black Ops.
Yeah,
Call of Duty.
Technically, this did it first. I think. I can't remember which came out first.
Damn, hold on. Let me see.
I'm pretty sure Hellsing Ultimate came out 2006 or something like that. No, yeah, it came out 2006. And
the manga, yeah. I think the manga's older, of course. But wait, no, hold on. Okay, the anime, the television series, October 10th, 2001. Yeah.
The first Hellsing?
Yeah, the first Hellsing.
Yeah, well, Hellsing Ultimate was 2006. And this is interesting, looking at this episode list, because I saw this, way after it came out.
Yeah.
The episodes were, several months apart from each other, it looks like. And because episode 1 was released in February 10th, 2006, and then episode 2 was released in August 2006.
Yeah, they weren't weekly. They just...
Episode 3 was April 4th, 2007, and the next one in 2008. Another one in 2008. Yeah, they were several months apart.
Yeah.
So that probably explains the very high quality animation and look in all of these. It's such a splendid anime, and each episode is pretty long. I'm pretty sure they're all almost 40 episodes or 40 minutes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there were at least 3 studios working on the ultimate version. One is Satellite. Madhouse was in this too.
Yeah,
and
Madhouse is good.
Yes, indeed. Madhouse worked on the episode 5 to 7. Yeah, these were different actual studios making each episode. I mean, from 1 to 4, that'll be Satellite. Madhouse was to 5 to 7, and Graphinica was 8 to 10. So this is why it took a bit longer.
Yeah.
I guess the period of Madhouse, that one that took long. Yeah.
They all took a while. It was
Yeah.
a 6-year endeavor. Like, geez, like, man, I can't. I don't think I've ever done that with any anime. Like, one episode and you gotta wait like half a year for the next episode. You know?
Yeah, but these were more like OVAs, type of episodes. Because I see here it's an original video animation. Since, well, I mean, I can, it's okay that if it's an OVA, then okay, it's we still have to wait, like an OVA. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it was released, but thank God.
But it was a weird period, though. It's I mean, by back then, 2006, competing with Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and all these big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just glad I could go on like Crunchyroll or any anime streaming website and just watch it all in one go. Like, I binged the whole show in like 2 nights. And I do not regret it. It was so good.
Oh yes, indeed. This is an anime worth watching. Both versions, the original Hellsing and the Ultimate. It's violent, but it's a good violent type of anime. If you like violence and blood and gore, and this is the one.
Ultimate has more facial expressions and like
indeed.
It's a little more silly at times.
Oh yeah, it has comedy in it.
Yeah, just a little bit, but like they definitely like go a little further out on making jokes and like like they're doing the whole I don't want to say slapstick routine. It's not slapstick, it's the straight man routine where like Alucard does something crazy and Ceres is the straight man. Yes.
So right now I just see here this is published by Dark Horse Comics.
I've heard that somewhere before, but I can't remember.
It's the company that I think owns or actually publishes the Hellboy comics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And also the Umbrella Academy also. So this is pretty. I did not know about this though until now. Although this anime also has horror. So I think the first Hellsing it's a really big serious type of anime. It's
the first
dark.
one is way more like I said, darker and a little more like
diabolical,
I guess. Now the Ultimate, the further it gets into the series, the more crazy it gets as well.
Oh yeah,
it fools you at first.
Escalated quickly.
No, it does. It like, dude, it like, oh fuck! Like when you see like Alucard's like origin story and all that crap. It's like
it's messed up.
Some serious like crap. Like it's nothing to like take lightly.
Yes.
So just
this is not prepared.
For kids. Yeah, if you're faint of heart, like if you can't handle Sword Art Online,
the new one.
Yeah,
the new one.
The latest one.
Yeah.
If you're caught up on that and you're offended. You probably don't want to watch Ultimate Hellsing.
Neither both. It's just basically rated R. Rated R as religiously gory. It's very mature. It is very adult. Okay, this is
It's just a good way to put it.
Yes, and man, I wish this. I mean, there's a lot of animes today doing remakes and all that, but this does not deserve a remake. This, as it is, as for both anime, the original and the ultimate, they just seem very good directed and well performed by these studios. So I don't know, man. It's just
great.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to see another one. It took so long to get it all out, and then it's basically perfection
yes.
like where it is now. Like, I know a lot of, everyone has their opinions. They could like pick at like little bits here and there, but I like had a blast watching all of it.
Yes.
Now I have a fear that at some point Hollywood's going to touch it.
Oh God. Let's not go there.
if I was Hollywood, I would be like, hey, you guys want to make a vampire movie? I know of a great series. And they'll make a live
probably
action adaptation.
Netflix will take this since they already have the Dark Horse type of.
Jeez.
We might probably
see that
it,
disappoints me a little more than like Hollywood, because like Netflix they don't make things look good,
Yeah,
they can they can make an okay or good story, but it's the costumes and the effects and everything.
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
just-
they should just stick to making stuff like Stranger Things.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly. So
It doesn't
original.
require that much effects and stuff, and it is original content, so
Yeah.
it like
Because
yeah,
basically
enjoyable.
Hellsing is all, adapting to a live action is very hard because it's bloody, it's gore, it's very religious, it is very graphical, and there's a lot of stuff going on in this anime that visual effects is just gonna look cheesy anyways. It's just not gonna look as good.
Yeah, well, it's just like it's gonna be hard to top like anime, because anime, like, you can literally make anything happen.
Yes, exactly.
It's like you can do it's with CGI, you can get away with a lot, but at that point, when your whole movie is just CGI, you gotta ask yourself, like,
and this is
was
animated
there any
movie?
point? Yeah, was there any point in doing this?
It's still
like-
animated.
Sure, you have some characters that'll be human when there's no stuff going on, but like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
would've just-
yeah, it's
I've just not done it.
yeah, and we've seen a lot of vampire and a lot of like the Underworld series and all that, and all vampire movies in Hollywood, which they all suck, most of them. Yeah, it's just, if they would adapt Hellsing, it's not gonna be as easy as it looks. Hellsing has a lot of characters that have a lot of more weapons, like the one that you mentioned, the butler. It's
Yeah,
just
they
not.
could still do it, but it's
Oh,
yeah,
man, it's gonna look bad.
it's not gonna be faithful to the story.
Yeah,
They're gonna
it's-
skip a lot of stuff. They might even scrap the whole Nazi imagery, because there's a lot of
Yeah.
I don't want to say debate, because everyone hates Nazis, but it's like controversy,
Yes, yes,
around
yes.
showing that imagery, especially like now.
Yeah, so the best thing that they can do right now is to make another type of Hellsing series anime that will continue to the original. I will like that. I will love that, because I really love the series and the lore and I think everything that's in it.
Yeah.
Even though it has
If
this.
they made another Hellsing series, I'd want to see like stuff from even further back in Alucard's.
Oh
like,
yes. His
history.
his story is just amazing and crazy. A character like that is just good. He deserves being a badass in the series. So
there's at least 2 more stories that like the anime presented that like we could delve further into, or that they could delve further into.
Exactly.
So yeah, there's potential for more.
Indeed.
I don't know if they will, but
someday. Hey, yeah, who knows? Either we get an anime or we get a live action, but we're gonna get something.
Maybe, or it might just be put to rest.
Yes, exactly.
Let's just hope that it's either put to rest or anime.
Exactly. Well, all right, people, this will be it for this episode. Please go watch Hellsing if you're into this kind of genre, adventure, dark fantasy, and horror type of, if you like gore, yeah, this is the correct anime. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. This has been Zara Punky.
This has been Shinja.
We'll see you guys later.